Welcome to Projects Invest. This is Al and Cal here. Today we're going to be talking about GME once again. It's been crazy of a week in the last 7 days. We have position with GME, so we're going to talk about what happened in the last week, and as well as what we're going to do with the position. But before we begin, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell notification, give us a like, and let's begin.
All right, so looking back from our last time that we talked about GME, it was all positive news. But since then, a lot of things have happened. So one of them is that GameStop went to its all-time high. I think it reached intraday 500 before dropping again.
Yeah, it went from 80 to 500.
Yeah,
I think that was 1 day, right? One or two days.
Yeah. And then afterwards, we experienced like pretty much a week of negativity and losses because it all started with them banning the ability to buy GME.
Yeah, so I think manipulation is the keyword. So there was a couple of types of manipulation. One is with the brokers. So Robinhood and IB and I think a couple of other brokers, they restricted buying, and that kind of caused the price and momentum to slow down. And I think in the last 4 or 5 trading days, it went from 400 to as low as 50.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. If you're a holder, it was a tough couple of days.
Yeah.
And then another thing was we started hearing a lot of reports of buy silver, and me just being on Wall Street forums and looking around, I don't really see too many people talking about like buying silver. A lot of people are speculating this is probably coming from the institutional side, trying to get people's attention away from GME.
Yeah, so I think the key word is manipulation was what stopped this run essentially.
Yeah. Just killed the momentum. But just recently, most of the brokers are kind of allowing the full trading of these stocks again. And just yesterday we saw, I think it was once for a long time, the first green day, right?
Yeah, I think it was relatively. I think like what people are trying to look for is, has the squeeze happened yet, right? Because after all, people are playing this stock because of the potential short squeeze. And I think one of the things they're looking for is the comparison to what happened with Volkswagen back in 2008.
Yeah, so let's look at this chart, right? So there's 2 scenarios here. We can either be here, which is before the short squeeze, or we can be here after the short squeeze, and we're just basically at this point just bag holding, which is possibly the worst possible scenario.
Right, and I think the second thing that people are looking for is the actual short interest percentage. So there's a lot of fake reports out there saying that short interest has already decreased a lot. It's back to normal levels, but that could probably be fake because short interest reports, according to my knowledge, comes out every 2 weeks, and this whole thing hasn't even been 2 weeks yet. So the next one should be on the 9th. So on the 9th, the real one comes out, and we should have a good indication, if this play is still valid or not.
So a lot of people are also looking at DFB just to get an idea of what to do, and he for the longest time he's been posting daily, giving an update on his position every day. But he did mention that he's going to stop doing that. We're not really sure what the reason is, but some say it's probably because he doesn't want to get tied up into the legal matters, because there's rumors that he's being invited to a Senate hearing for GME. He's probably just looking out for himself from a legal standpoint.
Do you think they purposely tried to stop him from supporting others?
I don't know, but he's become the face of this whole movement.
Yeah.
Because he's the guy that kind of leads the whole thing, and I think he has the biggest amount of shares among the retail.
Right. Okay. So currently we're holding GME at the moment. We have about 130 shares. And the way we're gonna play it is, of course, number one, we're gonna see if the squeeze has happened yet, and we'll know on the 9th. And we're gonna hold and pray and hope that it hasn't happened yet, and this play is still good to go. And we also have another option as well.
Another option is basically we think of this as a long-term play, hoping that GME turns around with Ryan Cohen. They recently brought in some guys from Amazon. So they brought in Matt Francis, so he's going to be the new CTO, and they brought in Josh Kroger, who was the former head of fulfillment at Amazon. So these 2 hires definitely signifies that the GameStop is going to be changing their platform to be more online friendly, more e-commerce friendly. We're betting on this change will make a huge difference in their ability moving forward and generate profits, similar to how Ryan Cohen has done it with Chewy, and how Amazon has have made a lot of money through their e-commerce platform as well. So this is kind of the long-term play where eventually, the price it is at right now would justify holding it.
Yeah, and I think it's a possibility, right?
Yeah, it's a
Because
possibility.
I mean, Ryan Cohen managed to compete head to head with Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And Chewy kind of came out on top, right? And
Yeah.
gaming industry is probably just as big as the pet industry, if not probably bigger.
Yeah.
So I think that's possible.
Yeah, and the gaming industry is growing. Like it's constantly growing. We're seeing a lot of esports, and then a lot of events that are surrounding it, like that fill up a whole stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're betting on that in the long term.
Right. Okay.
What are we gonna do?
I mean, in conclusion, I think we're gonna hold it for the time being. Of course, if the squeeze happens, that's great. We'll then decide what to do after. If it doesn't, I think the long-term play is okay. I truly believe that Ryan Cohen would be able to somehow turn around this company.
Yeah.
We don't mind holding to see what happens after.
Yeah, and also we only have, I think, 130 shares in total. It's not money that we need to use to pay rent for, right? So we're perfectly okay, with if it actually tanks and we lose a bit of money from this.
Yeah, I think
we can survive it.
And it's partly because of the whole retail versus institutional investors thing. We're part of the retail side, right?
Yep.
So we want to make sure that we don't lose to the institutional investors. So partly it's because of that as well.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it for this one. Well, we'll see you guys in the next one.